few may have noticed that India has condoled the death of former Taiwan President Lee Teng-Hui and hailed him as Mr. Democracy. Hello friends, this is Rajiv Sharma. This is very important. This move of India is fraught with all kinds of signals to China. Now, India has made it clear to China that it will set its own ground rules in dealing with China. That is the message number one. Message number two is that if China remains intransigent, if China remains as nose-hardy as it has been since the Ladakh standoff, which broke out on May 4-5 night, India's intent is very clear. India's message is very clear that from now onwards, we will deal with you differently. Like it has never been done before in the 7 decades of India's bilateral relationship with China. This is path breaking. And why not? This move of the Modi government is highly applaudable. It is highly praiseworthy. It conveys a tough approach, conveyed diplomatically. And as I said, why not? Because China is not budging. China has made it clear that as far as disengagement process in Ladakh is concerned, it is complete. India took its own time in responding to that, and India's response is very clear that the disengagement is not complete yet. And the disengagement will not be deemed completed until the status of May 4, May 5 night is restored. So status quo ante has to be restored. And China has made it very clear. Again and again I have been saying this, and there are all kinds of talks taking place between India and China at the diplomatic level, at the military level, and the Chinese are stuck. It's like a broken record. They are stuck on. They are not budging. So how to deal with China then? Then this is the way forward. And international climate is already building up in favor of this new approach of India. US is already going, absolutely berserk, as far as, if I can say berserk. US is having a completely hard-nosed approach with China. And the Trump administration, every day, every second day, every third day, some policy decision is spelled out by the Trump administration which riles China. Now, the biggest setback for China is Europe. You see, China had thought that Europe was a done deal for China, and China had successfully weaned Europe away from US, because European Union had embraced Huawei and on many other counts, despite the fact that the US had banned Huawei, the Chinese telecom giant. Now, significantly, the EU rethink has been spelt out openly by EU representative for foreign policy, Joseph Borrell. Joseph Borrell has not only called for a more united approach from EU towards China, which he has called as authoritarian regime, as a regressive and aggressive regime, but he has also called for a coordinated approach between the EU, the US, and other leading democracies of the world like India. So, here, China is actually not putting the axe on the foot, but hitting the axe with its foot, actually. China is not realizing the kind of self-goals after self-goals it has been committing. China is pushing a coalition of world democracies. China is precipitating that. And mind you, that coalition of that coalition of world democracies will not be limited to diplomacy alone. There will be military component to it. Wait and watch and see how Quad gets militarized. Wait and watch and see how the Quad is raised in terms of communication level further. From senior officials, it has already been raised to the level of foreign ministers. That is, US, Japan, Australia, and India, Quad. Now, it's a matter of when, not if. When Quad summit will take place. Now, UK has completely come out with hammer and tongs against China and banned Huawei, though at substantial cost to the exchequer. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, democracies after democracies are coming out openly against China. It's not India alone. So it is good for India that China is playing hard to get. Now, another thing. The Chinese intransigence, the Chinese stubbornness in disengaging from Ladakh only shows that India does not, it's not just this long winter which is ahead for India. No. The message for India is very clear that this eyeball to eyeball confrontation with China will continue for a long, long time, for years and perhaps a decade. And well, while India should be making plans for 2020, but it should be also ready with plans for 2030. Long-term planning, that is. And of course, India is now stocking up winter clothing, fuel, all kinds of essential items for its troops. In view of the Chinese large deployments, rather unprecedentedly large deployments. There are some reports saying that 200,000 Chinese troops are deployed very close to the Indian border. At a short notice they can come. So the Chinese intentions are very clear that before the world gets to its throat on the issue of origins of coronavirus before the world starts demanding economic compensation, financial compensation from China for the so-called China virus. Well, the American leaders don't call it coronavirus, don't call it COVID-19. They call it China virus openly and bluntly. So before that happens, China is purposely upping its ante vis-a-vis India, vis-a-vis Bhutan, in the Himalayas. It's pushing up its ante in the South China Sea. It is browbeating smaller countries, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Japan. Of course, Japan and US are engaged in a tug of war. And Japan is also not letting its guard down, and this time it is China versus the rest. Let's see how the situation develops. Well, I hope you will like this and comment over this video and subscribe to my channel, Rajiv Kishkinda. Thank you.